Hi there, this is Anna Rona, and today I'd like to speak with you a little bit about the concept of leaders are always readers. Now, I learned this over 10 years ago, and it was pretty profound for me at the time. So, the concept is that if you're a leader, you're constantly growing yourself, you're constantly learning, you're constantly expanding your own mind and your consciousness so that you can improve who you are and become a better leader for those who you serve. Another thing I like to think about with the concept leaders are always readers is that when we enter into a good storyline or a good book, we can get lost there. I know I've read things and I've been in a room and somebody would come into the room and try to get my attention, and have to call me a few times just before I can hear them, because even though I'm physically in the room, my mind has now gone into the storyline and I'm wrapped up in the characters and the scenery and the plot and everything that's going on within the pages of the book. So it's just a really neat example of how powerful the written word can actually be on our minds and our consciousness. Another thing to consider is what kind of material are you reading? So, are you reading things that are scary, that make your heart palpitate? Are you reading things that inspire you, that make you feel good, that make you think, that give you new ideas? Like, one thing I really like to read about is biographies of certain people who I think have accomplished a lot in this life, have done a lot of good in this world. I like to read their biographies or autobiographies because you can learn a lot about a person's journey through life by reading about their history. And there's a lot that we don't know about people that are well known in the world because we see them once they hit a certain level of achievement, and we don't always necessarily know what it took for them to get to that level of achievement that they've gotten to. So I highly recommend good biographies. I highly recommend any feel good stories, anything that makes you feel better about yourself and your world, anything that is like in the self help world, anything that you can actually absorb this information and then use it. Use the information, not just read it for entertainment purposes, but actually apply what you're reading to actually better your life and your life situation. So another little key tip I wanted to mention is the times of day to do certain types of reading. So in the very early morning when we first are waking up and our brain state is still sort of like half asleep, half awake. And then there's another period where we're about to fall asleep when we're starting to get a little drowsy. And again, our brain waves are starting to slow down. It's during these times that we are most susceptible to any information that is coming to us. It actually has the ability to bypass most of our conscious mind and get directly into our unconscious mind. Now, why is this important? So, this is important if you want to reprogram your mind. So, if you want to change some limiting beliefs, or if you want to start to recreate a new self image of who you are, what you're capable of in this world, those are the best times to do that. So, if you find a really good book to read, one that has a lot of positive affirmations, or one that teaches you how to become a better person, how to be a better leader, how to be a better spouse, you can consider reading those books right before you fall asleep and right as soon as you wake up, because it's in those moments of time that you're able to take in the information at a much deeper level than you would in a conscious waking state during the middle of the day, for instance. So there's a few things to consider in regards to reading and why I say leaders are always readers, because I've learned that a lot of people in my life who I admire, who I think have done really well in the world, are avid readers. They read the classics, they read all the newest self-help books, they read history, they read all kinds of biographies. They're just absorbing information from books. And there's a reason why in the past sometimes books were being burned. Governments didn't want the people to have a certain amount of knowledge or information. So books are very, very powerful, and don't underestimate the power of the books you read, and make sure you're choosing something that's enhancing your life Okay, so I hope I've given you some tidbits of information to help. And as always, wishing you a beautiful day. Bye for now.